Over Water by Jason Isbell is going to be played in standard tuning, and it comes out of a G major formation. The song itself is played on electric. I'm going to just show you on acoustic. It translates the same. So the intro to this song that we all recognize is that riff. But it's not just a riff occurring by itself. It's happening within a chord progression that you'll actually be playing simultaneously with the riff. So first let me just tell you what the chords are so that you understand the context of the progression that this riff is about to take place in. It's a G chord to a D chord, back to a G chord. Then it goes an E minor chord to a D chord to a C chord. Now the way that we'll be playing these chords in relation to the riff are not necessarily those fingerings. I'm just playing them so that you understand the context of the chord progression that's happening alongside this riff. So how do we put them both together? Start with your ring finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret, pinky finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret, and they are just there for whenever we need them, basically, because the intro to this riff is just a pickup note inside of a G chord. You're going to start with an open 3rd string and then hammer on with your 2nd finger to the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then you'll hit the open 2 string behind it. After you hit that open 2 string, you're going to then strum across the wholeness of this G chord that you've got fretted. And then you'll come back to the 3 string 2nd fret, hit that, then pull off to 3 open. So we've got, after you pull off to 3 open, you'll go back to the open 2 string and hit that. And then here's where our chord change comes. It goes to a D chord. So you will put your 2nd finger in, not even a full D chord, but you'll put your 2nd finger down on the 3rd string 2nd fret. You'll strum across open string 4, fretted string 3, and if you hit open string 2, it's okay. Try to avoid open string 1. After you strum that part of that D, you'll then come back and hit the open 2 string, and then you'll hit the 3 string fretted on 2 and pull off to 3 open, and then come back into the full G chord. So the opening half of this riff is, I'm sorry, let me start that over very slowly. Once you get that first part down, the second part then moves to the E minor, and it's going to do so with the same lead-in of, like earlier with the G, we're going to do that same thing, except for instead of the G, we'll hit the E minor. So I can't remember exactly how Jason's playing this E minor, but any version of an E minor gets the job done. I think he's probably playing it like this right here, but what I'm doing is just a standard E minor. 2nd and ring fingers on the 2nd frets of strings 5 and 4 respectively, everything else open. You hit the E minor, then you hit the open 2 string, then you hit the fretted 3 string 2nd fret, the open 2 string again, and then 3 string 2nd fret, pull off to 3 open, and then into a C chord. For the C chord, you're going to move with your ring finger to the 5th string 3rd fret, 1st finger pulls back to the 2nd string 1 fret, and then you'll strike those notes, and then hammer on with your 2nd finger to the 4th string 2nd fret. So now this whole opening riff is coming together like this very slowly, from the G to the D to the E minor to the C. I think earlier I forgot to mention that after the E minor, you're going to come back and actually play that D chord again the same way that we did earlier. So just toss that in there. Also a note about the D chord. Earlier I think I said strum from the 4th string down. It definitely sounds better to strum from the open 5th string down. Then once you get that intro, it then goes into the verse. The verse is going to be a G chord. For this G chord, I've got my second finger on the 6th string 3rd fret. I've got my ring finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret, pinky finger on the 1st string 3rd fret, and I'm really just not even putting my first finger down in G position on the 5th string 2nd fret. I'm letting my 2nd finger block out the 5th string, but if you want to do a full G, feel free. So we'll go a G to a D, pull up from that G, move into a D by going with your first finger to the 3rd string 2nd fret, and I just avoid the 1st string altogether here. If you want to hit the open 1st string, you can, or if you want to fret the 1st string on the 2nd fret, you can. But it goes G to a D, back down into G, and then C to the D to the G. That's the second part of the verse. For the C, I'm just moving with one finger to the 5th string 3rd fret, leaving my ring and pinky fingers planted on the 3rd frets of strings 1 and 2. So C to the D to the G. Then it goes to E minor. For the E minor, I'm just playing it with really one finger moving away from still keeping my ring and pinky planted on the 3rd fret of strings 1 and 2. I'm moving for the E minor with my first finger to the 5th string 2nd fret, hitting the open 6th string, and then it goes back up to the G, and then G to the C, and then G to the D to the G. So that's the whole verse, and I guess pre-chorus, if you want to think of it as having a pre-chorus. So it'd be G to D to G, running through it just real quick. C, D, G, to the E minor, to the G, G to the C, G to the D to the G. As far as strumming pattern goes, the strumming pattern's really very sparse. Really, you're just kind of emphasizing the downbeats as you move the chords with a little bit of maybe flowered random rhythm that's in between them. Sometimes whenever Jason goes to the E minor, I'll also note that he walks down by going 6th string 3rd fret, 6th string 2nd fret, moving with your first finger to the E minor. Alright, whenever we get to the chorus now, the chorus is going to be an E minor to a G chord, and here we get a more pronounced rhythm of. That's basically what the rhythm becomes during the chorus. So it goes E minor to a G, to the C, to the G, walk down to the E minor, to the G, and then to the D. That repeats. And then at the end of the verse, you get, it goes to an A minor, so an open 5 string, ring finger to the 4th string 2nd fret, 2nd finger to the 4th string 2nd fret, ring finger to the 3 string 2nd fret, first finger on the 2nd string 1st fret, strumming from the open 5 down. So A minor to an E minor, just a standard E minor, back to the A minor, to the E minor, A minor to the E minor, and then up to a D. And then sometimes you can hear here Jason put his pinky finger down inside of this D on the 1st string 3rd fret. And then you've got the solo lead break that takes place over the chorus chords of E minor to G. Just to give you an idea of how that lead break goes. And I'm not going to, he gets really wonky with stuff and gets out of my league, but the opening notes to the lead break are very easy. You're going to lead into it with a hammer-on from the 4th string 7th fret to the 4th string 9th fret with your ring finger, and then you'll hit the 3rd string 7th fret with your first finger. So, and then you'll hammer on with your ring finger to the 3rd string 9th fret, and then back to the 3rd string 7th fret, and then 4-string 9th fret. So we've got, and then you'll go, or, so the way that part will go is you'll hit the 4-string 9th fret and pull off to the 4-string 7th fret, and then slide down to the 4-string 5th fret, and then come back up to the 4-string 7th fret and slide up to the 4-string 9th fret, and hit that once after the slide. So hit, slide, hit, and then so let me get us back up to speed of where we are. So that's where we've left off. You'll hit the 4-string 7th fret again, 4-string 9th fret again, and then quickly jump off of that to the 3-string 7th fret. So, and then you'll hammer on with your ring finger to the 3-string 9th fret, and then pull off to the 3-string 7th fret, and then you'll hit the 3-string 7th fret, but hammer on with your ring finger to the 4-string 9th fret. And then hit the 4-string 9th fret and slide down to the 4-string 7th fret and hit that again. So we've got very slowly coming together like this. And then he goes into stuff that it's more improv than anything, and I can't quite piece together how it works, in all honesty. I do know that he tends to get into that range right there, doing a lot of pull-offs between the 3rd and 4th strings that are in a box, moving from 3-string 4 fret, 3-string 2 fret, 3-string open, 4-string 4 fret, 4-string 2 fret, 4-string open, and it's just rapid succession that he does get into that before then running back up to, like, I don't know where he goes. And then I think the whole solo ends on that note right there. So I can give you the beginning and I can give you what I think the last note of the solo is, with the tip that somewhere he does something like that. So maybe that gives you an idea of how to approach the solo as well. Sorry I couldn't be more specific on that, but those are the chords, the movements, the riffs, a little bit of the solo to Flying Over Water by Jason Isbell. Hopefully that gives you an idea of how to approach the song.